chosen one, this Friday. The heavens have spoken with clarity and precision, and what was once delayed is now arriving. Everything you poured your heart into through prayer, every whispered hope, every tear-soaked desire, every silent plea sent into the spiritual realm, is moving into manifestation. Friday is not just a day on the calendar anymore. It has become a divine appointment, an ordained moment of release, a sacred marker of fulfillment. And you, chosen one, are the direct recipient of what's about to unfold. If you're watching this video right now, it's not by accident. This message was encoded in your spirit long before it appeared on your screen. Something divine is pulling you here, because your spirit has been searching for confirmation. So watch this video till the very end, and write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. This is more than engagement. It is an energetic agreement with the universe, a release of magnetic vibration that fuels your desires into motion. Wishes are not just dreams, they are spiritual seeds. And on this Friday, those seeds are breaking through the soil and reaching the surface. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and listen closely. For far too long, it felt like your prayers were going into silence. You prayed in the midnight hour. You asked when no one was watching. You believed in the unseen, while everything around you seemed to fall apart. But what you didn't see was what was being constructed behind the veil. In your quiet surrender, heaven was writing plans with your name on them. And those plans had a delivery date. That date is Friday. This Friday carries energy unlike any other. It is spiritually charged. It has been spoken over in the divine realm. Angels have already moved into position. Divine systems are aligning. The answers you thought had been ignored are now being rerouted to you with heavenly force. It's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of now. You didn't miss your moment. You were simply being prepared for the power of it. Understand this. Not every delay was a denial. Some delays were divine protection. You weren't ready to carry the weight of the answer before. But now you are strengthened, tested, refined, and ready to receive on a level that can't be shaken. God didn't forget you. God scheduled you, and your scheduled moment is arriving. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. The tears you cried in secret were not wasted. The long nights, the confusion, the trials, they were not without purpose. They were all pointing you to this time, this specific Friday, this supernatural unfolding. The wind is shifting. The atmosphere around your life is changing. Doors are being unlocked without you even knocking. People are being sent into your path that carry the next piece of your breakthrough. And you'll know it's from God because it will require no striving, only alignment. You've entered a season where blessings chase you down. You don't have to hunt anymore. You don't have to force anything. What is for you is magnetized to your soul. On Friday, you will begin to see movement, evidence, confirmation, and it will not be small. No, God is doing something major, something undeniable, something that will make everyone who doubted you stop and stare in awe. You are not just being blessed, you are being elevated, promoted, positioned, and God is making sure everyone sees that it was Him who did it. This is not a reward for perfection. It's a release because of your persistence. You stayed faithful when others fell off. You kept speaking life when circumstances tried to shut your mouth. You kept believing even when the results were invisible. That kind of endurance doesn't go unnoticed in the spirit realm. That kind of faith triggers divine reward. And now, chosen one, it's your turn to receive. You may feel like nothing's happening yet. You might be looking around and wondering how this could possibly be true. But that's the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't need visible evidence to be real. In fact, the biggest breakthroughs often come quietly before they shout. What looks like a normal Friday to the world will feel like destiny to you, because God said Friday. And when God speaks, the universe aligns, time bows, and nothing can interfere with what's been divinely decreed. Take a deep breath. You don't have to figure out the how. You just have to stay in agreement with the when. And the when is Friday. Everything that belongs to you is gathering itself right now. Blessings are packing themselves and heading your direction. Favor is rerouting itself from places of resistance into places of flow. What didn't work before is now being infused with supernatural ease. Let go of the fear that this won't happen. That fear is a remnant from the past season, a season that has already expired. You are not in the same energy anymore. You're in a new chapter, a new vibrational space. Your soul knows it. That's why you feel this inner stirring. It's not anxiety. It's awakening. It's your spirit recognizing that the wait is over. Something inside you has already started celebrating, even before your eyes can see the reason. That's because your spirit has already seen it done. On Friday, you will begin to see signs. They may come as messages, sudden opportunities, unexpected communication, or inner peace that surpasses understanding. Pay attention to these moments. They are not random. They are divine signals guiding you into your answered prayers. And when it begins, it will move quickly. Momentum is about to take over. Don't resist it. Don't doubt it. Flow with it. Chosen one, you were not overlooked. You were hidden for divine reasons. But now is your time to be revealed. The light is hitting you differently. And everything you prayed for, it's meeting you. No more delay. No more detour. The spiritual traffic is cleared. The heavens are open. And God is sending you everything you asked for, with interest. This is the first drop of the downpour, the start of a flood of favor. What starts on Friday will not stop. It will multiply. Like waves hitting the shore again and again, blessings will flow into your life on repeat. This isn't a one-time event. This is a divine pattern of provision. And here's the beautiful part. You won't be the only one affected. Your breakthrough will bless others. Your answered prayer will open doors for those connected to you. Your testimony will activate faith in someone else. That's how big this is. That's how intentional God is. Your victory was never just about you. It was always about the lives that would be transformed through your rise. Don't let anything distract you this week. Protect your peace. Guard your thoughts. Stay in a posture of expectation. Speak only life over your situation, because what you're doing right now is preparing the soil for the manifestation. You are closer than you've ever been. And when Friday comes, you'll know why it had to be this way. You'll look back and thank God for every not yet, because it protected your right now. This is your time. This is your alignment. Friday isn't just another day. It's your destiny knocking. And you, chosen one, are finally about to open the door. Chosen one, let's go deeper. There is something sacred about how divine timing works. When God marks a moment, that moment becomes holy. That moment carries divine precision, like the ticking of a heavenly clock that was set in motion before you ever even prayed. This Friday isn't arriving at random. It's arriving in sync with the plans written in the heavens long ago. What looks like a simple date to the world has been coded in the spirit as your divine trigger point. A moment where what was invisible becomes undeniable. A point where you shift from asking to receiving. But make no mistake, this is not just about what happens to you. It's about what is activated inside of you. On this Friday, there will be an inner knowing, a holy confirmation that pulses through your spirit like a current. You'll feel it before it shows up. That sense of certainty that tells you, something is shifting. Something is happening for me. I'm not being left behind. That's not imagination. That's intuition sharpened by the Spirit. You're not guessing. You're receiving. Chosen one, you are stepping into alignment with divine rhythm. You're no longer running after time. Time is now running toward you. You're not begging blessings to come. They are magnetically drawn to you now because your frequency has shifted. You've let go of what no longer serves you. You've chosen faith over fear. And that decision placed you in the right spiritual posture to receive. Here's what you need to understand. When God says Friday, He's not just talking about 24 hours. He's talking about a season, a shift, a divine appointment with your name on it. This Friday may be the catalyst, but the effects will ripple across the rest of your life. Something permanent is being established, not a temporary blessing, not a flash of favor that fades, but a foundational change, a new spiritual contract, a fresh agreement between heaven and your destiny. And what's wild? Some of the answers coming to you weren't even prayers you remember praying. That's how generous God is. He didn't forget a single petition. Even the prayers you whispered once and buried in frustration have been kept, stored, guarded, and now they're being brought forward, delivered with divine timing. You'll look around and realize, I didn't even know I still needed that, but here it is. That's the overflow you're stepping into, the kind that exceeds your expectations, the kind that reminds you just how detailed God is. Do you remember those moments when you questioned everything? When you said, God, did I hear wrong? When you felt abandoned or confused because nothing was lining up? All of those moments were building something inside of you. Resilience, depth, vision, and spiritual strength. The silence wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Heaven was waiting for the perfect hour to release what would last. And now, finally, that hour has arrived. Friday is the day the script flips. The invisible becomes tangible. The spiritual realm breaks open and spills into your reality. You will not miss it. You will not be passed over. Your name is already echoing through the halls of heaven. Angels are whispering your assignment. Messengers are on the move. The response has already been dispatched. You are not waiting for God to act. God is waiting for you to receive. Chosen one, lean in. Your job now is to stay open. Stay expectant. Don't try to predict how it will happen. Don't try to control the method. Miracles don't always follow logic. Sometimes the most outrageous shifts come through the most ordinary doors. You might wake up on Friday thinking it's just another day. But before that day ends, something extraordinary will break through. It could be a phone call, an email, a chance meeting, a sudden release of finances, a decision made in your favor that you didn't even see coming. Stay alert. Stay ready. This moment is sacred, and it requires you to be fully present. Let go of distractions. This is not the time to second guess. This is not the time to question your worth. You are worthy. You are ready. You are chosen. Everything you need to walk into this blessing has already been deposited in you. The light you carry is undeniable. And now, the world is about to see what God saw all along. Do not be surprised if old doors close right before the new ones open. That's how divine transitions work. Some things must fall away so you can receive with open hands. Let them go. Trust that if it's walking away now, it wasn't meant to be part of what's next. You're being upgraded, and upgrades require room. You'll also start to notice strange patterns in your day, repeating numbers, unexpected confirmations, sudden peace when you were anxious just moments before. These are not coincidences. These are divine codes, signals that your life is being rewritten in real time. Trust what you feel. If your heart skips when you think about Friday, it's because your soul recognizes the truth in it. And this truth cannot be undone. God's word will not return void. What was spoken over your life is now in motion. The prayers have matured. The promise has reached full term. And now the delivery is here. It's not being held up anymore. You won't have to fight for it this time. This is not a test. This is the result, the manifestation, the arrival. Friday is not about proving yourself. It's about being positioned. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to explain yourself. The blessing will speak for itself. It will be so obvious, so undeniable, that even your enemies will have to admit, God did this. Not luck, not coincidence, divine intervention. And when it starts, it won't stop. This is the kind of moment that causes a chain reaction. One answered prayer leads to another. One open door leads to a hallway of opportunity. One confirmation gives you access to a future you only dreamed about. That's the power of divine timing. It doesn't just bless, it redefines. So chosen one, hold your head high. Walk into Friday with boldness. Smile in advance. Rejoice now. Don't wait for the confirmation to celebrate. Celebrate to activate. Your joy is a magnet. Your praise is a password. Your faith is the gateway. And all of heaven is backing you. You've carried the weight. Now receive the reward. You've sown in tears. Now reap in joy. You've waited in silence. Now move in power. Friday is not coming to you. It's already here. Chosen one. The closer you get to destiny, the louder the distractions will become. And yet, that is how you know you're near. Right before the manifestation, noise increases. Doubt creeps in. Fear tries to rise. But you've walked too far to turn around now. You've endured the dry places, the dark places, and the silent stretches. You've been refined in ways even you don't fully understand yet. And all of that was to prepare you for the glory that's about to unfold. The divine blueprint of your life has always had this moment encoded within it. God never changed his mind about your outcome. Even when circumstances shifted, even when people disappointed you, even when you didn't feel strong enough to continue, God's word over your life remained steady. And now, like the clock striking midnight, the set time is coming into view. That's why everything you've been feeling lately has intensified. That's why your emotions have been heightened. That's why your awareness has grown sharper. Your spirit recognizes what your eyes are about to see. Friday is the unlock, and you've already been handed the key in the spirit. What's coming is not just an answer, it's evidence. Tangible, visible, irrefutable evidence that you are in divine alignment. It's not something that will need to be defended. It will defend itself. The results will speak louder than any explanation you could offer. And people will wonder how it happened so fast. They won't see the years you spent in the shadows, the prayers you prayed in secret, the inner battles you conquered when no one was looking. But God saw. And now he's rewarding in public what you endured in private. That's the kind of blessing that's on the way. Public reward for private obedience. Chosen one, you've graduated. Spiritually, you've crossed a threshold. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You've already been appointed. You're not waiting for a door to open. You are the door. Your very presence is a gateway to light, to provision, to opportunity, and the world is about to see it. Not because you said so, but because heaven has decided it's time. God said Friday, and when God speaks, the entire atmosphere around you starts to shift. The cells in your body respond. The energy around your name starts vibrating at a higher level. Even people who don't understand why they're drawn to you will begin to feel the pull. It's not about charisma, it's about calling. Your calling is commanding attention now. Your presence is commanding response. This is what divine activation looks like. You are not just receiving one thing. You're walking into a series of unfoldings. Friday is the first domino, and once it falls, nothing will be able to stop the flow. One miracle will lead to another. One breakthrough will become the gateway for many. It's multiplication. It's momentum. It's the release of everything that was once locked behind spiritual gates. And now, those gates are crumbling. The resistance you felt before is gone. The spiritual walls that once blocked your favor have collapsed. The chains have been shattered. And the delay has been lifted. This is your go moment. Your season of stagnation has expired. This is movement season, transition season, overflow season. And the old ways will not follow you into the new place. The people who were connected to your past may not qualify for your future. And that's okay. You're not losing. You're being positioned. Don't try to explain this shift to everyone. Not everyone has the spiritual capacity to understand what's happening for you. Some will watch with confusion, others with jealousy. But those aligned with your assignment will celebrate you. They will feel the shift too, because your breakthrough is not happening in isolation. It's rippling out into your environment. It's making everything connected to you rise. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Friday is the day your name will start being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities will be discussed. Ideas involving you will form. Open doors will appear. And favor will move ahead of you to prepare the way. God is not just answering your prayers, He is exceeding them in ways that make you fall to your knees in awe, in ways that make your soul weep with gratitude. There will be signs. Pay attention. Unusual peace in a situation that once caused stress. A sudden cancellation that becomes a divine redirection. A name that keeps popping up. A random conversation that opens your eyes. These are all spiritual cues, clues that you are walking the right path. Let your spirit lead now. Don't look for logic. Look for alignment. You are not late. You are right on time. In fact, you're early for some of the blessings that are about to overtake you. That's how powerful this Friday is. It doesn't just release what's due. It pulls in things that were reserved for later. This is acceleration, restoration, compensation, and you won't have to chase it. It's chasing you. The days of striving are over. The days of surviving are behind you. This is the era of ease, the realm of rest. Not because life will be without challenge, but because you now move with divine authority. You now walk with spiritual rank. The difference is not in the circumstances, it's in your posture. You are no longer reacting. You are commanding. Commanding peace. Commanding favor. Commanding open doors. Because you're not just entering a new season, you are becoming a new version of you. A version that is bold, certain, and fully aligned with the divine plan. This version doesn't shrink, doesn't second guess, doesn't apologize for being chosen. This version knows that God didn't just say Friday for no reason. He said it because He meant it. Because everything you've prayed for is ready to meet you. Because heaven has cleared the path, and the time is now. This is what your prayers have been building toward. This is what your spiritual journey has been leading to. This is why you had to go through what you went through. Because this kind of manifestation requires preparation. This kind of blessing requires inner strength. You didn't just survive, you were shaped. And now that you're ready, God is saying, now, let it be done. Friday is more than a day. It's a doorway. And chosen one, you're standing right in front of it. Chosen one, what you are about to experience is not a result of coincidence. It is not luck. It is not random. It is divine orchestration at its finest. It is prophecy reaching fulfillment. It is the invisible becoming visible, and it's arriving right on schedule. God said Friday, not as a suggestion, but as a decree. And when heaven issues a decree, nothing on earth can cancel it. That's why things have been feeling different around you lately. You've noticed it. The air is heavy with expectancy. Your thoughts have been stretching wider. Your emotions have been raw, yet hopeful. You've been feeling a tug at your soul, like something unseen is pulling you forward. That's spiritual gravity. That's your breakthrough aligning with you. And as Friday draws closer, that pull becomes stronger. You are not imagining the tension, the shaking, the stretching, the quiet moments where you wonder if something big is coming. That's not in your head. That's in your spirit. You're standing on the edge of divine fulfillment, and everything in your being knows it. The shift is real. The atmosphere is electric with divine activity. God is not silent. He is strategic. And now, the strategy is about to be revealed. This moment in time has been long awaited, not just by you, but by heaven. Your lineage has prayed for this. Generations before you labored spiritually for this to come to pass. You are the one chosen to carry the answer. You are the one who has endured, persisted, and stood firm even when it would have been easier to give up. That faith, your faith, is now being rewarded. And don't underestimate what that reward will look like. This isn't just about a job, a house, a relationship, or money. This is about a total shift in identity and influence. This is about you becoming the version of yourself that was always written in the heavens. The one that walks in favor without fear. The one that speaks with divine confidence. The one that attracts blessings simply by being aligned. Chosen one, you've broken the cycle. The generational patterns that held others back will not hold you. The delays that sabotaged others will not sabotage you. You have shattered the timeline of struggle. You've created a new divine timeline, and it starts on Friday. This day will be a spiritual landmark in your story, one that you will look back on and say, that was the day everything changed. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. You will not just receive something, you will become someone. The fullness of who you are has been waiting for this activation. And when it hits, it will come with clarity. No more confusion. No more questioning your path. No more wondering if you're doing the right thing. Friday brings peace. It brings knowing. It brings certainty. And from that place of divine clarity, you will make bold moves. Moves that open doors you didn't even know existed. Because now, you're being led by divine instinct, not fear. You're being moved by faith, not pressure. And it makes all the difference. Here's what's also happening in the spiritual realm. The enemy is panicking. The forces that tried to delay you, distract you, depress you, they feel the shift too. And they know they've lost. That's why resistance has tried to rise in the last few days. That's why old situations tried to resurface. That's why your mind has been tempted to wander into doubt. Because when the enemy loses access to your destiny, he makes a last attempt to distract your attention. But you've grown past that. You are too awake now, too wise, too locked in. You are no longer a seeker, you're a receiver. You are no longer wandering, you're arriving. Chosen one, do not fear what's ahead. What's coming is beautiful. It's transformative. It's sacred. You've prayed for this, cried for this, prepared for this. And now God is saying, step into it. I've cleared the way. Every obstacle has already been addressed. Every delay has been overruled. Every need has been pre-supplied. You may not have all the instructions, but you have all the insight you need to walk forward. The path will reveal itself as you move. That's how divine faith works. It's not about having the map. It's about trusting the voice of the one who designed the path. You don't need every detail. You only need agreement. And the moment you say yes, everything else starts moving. Friday will not require effort. It will require surrender. Let go of how you thought it would look. Release your need to control every step. Open your hands and say, God, surprise me. Because He will. He's the master of divine surprises. And what He has prepared for you is beyond what your mind could have predicted. That's why it hasn't made sense up until now. You weren't supposed to understand. You were supposed to believe. You'll start to notice people treating you differently. Opportunities flowing toward you instead of you chasing them. Money showing up in ways that don't align with your logic. This is the overflow. This is divine reversal, where everything that once worked against you now starts working for you. And it's not because you changed who you are. It's because you stepped into who you've always been. The real you. The anointed you. The chosen you. Chosen one. This Friday is not the finish line. It's the beginning. the beginning of your reign, the beginning of your clarity, the beginning of your abundance, the beginning of your spiritual legacy manifesting in full force. This isn't a moment to play small. This is your moment to expand, to speak boldly, to act decisively, to declare without hesitation. This is my season, and I receive everything heaven has for me. You are not just lucky. You are aligned. You are not just favored. You are anointed. You are not just chosen. You are activated. And it all begins this Friday. Chosen one. When God said Friday, He wasn't just giving you a promise. He was giving you a prophecy. And prophecies do not return empty. They carry a vibration that moves through time, through resistance, through even the strongest delays. Prophecies pull reality into alignment. And now everything that's been hovering in the spiritual realm is collapsing into form, into manifestation, into now. You don't have to keep wondering whether this is your moment. It is. It's been confirmed in your spirit, reflected in your atmosphere, and echoed in your thoughts. That restlessness you've been feeling, it's not anxiety, it's preparation. Your spirit is gearing up for arrival. Your soul is stretching itself to receive. You're not going through the motions anymore. You're entering the motion of the miraculous. The level of breakthrough that is coming requires a heart that is both grounded and ready. That's you. You've been through too much not to be ready. You've cried too many tears not to receive joy. You've done the inner work. You've removed toxic patterns. You've forgiven where you were hurt. You've surrendered when it was painful. And now, all of that obedience, all of that heart work is being honored. Heaven never misses the quiet victories. And now, heaven is celebrating you publicly. Chosen one, your life is about to speak louder than your words ever could. You've entered the season where your presence announces what God has done. You don't have to explain anything. You don't have to convince anyone. The fruit of your obedience is about to show. The evidence of your prayers is about to speak. The anointing on your name is about to become undeniable. Even those who overlooked you will have to watch what God is doing. Not to shame them, but to show them that when God says it, He means it. And God said Friday, not next year, not someday, not eventually, Friday. That's how specific this is. That's how direct the instruction has been. You've been given a clear moment in time, a holy marking. And if your spirit bears witness to this message, then know this. You have already entered the window of divine flow. This isn't about waiting anymore. This is about aligning. You align by saying yes. You align by releasing fear. You align by protecting your peace, by listening to the inner nudges, by letting the old things fall away without chasing after them, by standing in your power, even when it's quiet. You don't need to make noise to walk in favor. Your very breath carries purpose now. Your very footsteps carry permission. Heaven is backing you with every move you make. Chosen one, God explained what you need to hear. God has been trying to reach you. This message is no accident. What you're about to hear isn't just a message. It's a divine explanation, a soul-level decoding of what's been unfolding in your life. You've been asking for clarity. You've been seeking signs. You've been wondering what this season means. And now, heaven has spoken. What you need to hear has already been explained in the realm of spirit. This is just the moment it catches up to you in the natural. Chosen one, stay with this message until the very end. This isn't a video. It's a visitation. Something sacred is about to be revealed. Your next steps are tied to what you hear here. Drop your warmest wishes in the comments with the number 99. This is not just interaction. It's activation. It's a statement to the universe that your heart is in agreement. Wishes are more than thoughts. They're energetic signals, and today, yours are rising high. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's begin with this truth. God has seen the confusion swirling in your mind, the things that haven't made sense, the moments that felt like punishment, the prayers that went unanswered. None of it was random. There has been divine reasoning behind the delays, the detours, and even the denials. You were never being ignored. You were being prepared. The answers weren't withheld from you out of cruelty, but because the weight of your future required spiritual muscle to carry it. You were being conditioned for destiny. You've probably asked, why me? Why the struggle, the separation, the silence? And here's what God needs you to understand. You were chosen not because of ease, but because of endurance. The kind of purpose on your life is not casual. You don't carry an ordinary mission. You carry a kingdom blueprint, and heaven couldn't risk it falling into hands unprepared to handle its power. That's why your life had to be filtered through fire. That's why things that broke others only built you. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you know, and further along than it looks. God explained that your silence wasn't punishment. It was setup. You were hidden for protection, not rejection. There were people you thought were supposed to go with you who were removed, not out of betrayal, but because they were never part of the vision. You weren't being abandoned. You were being aligned. You were being taken out of chaos so you could hear the clarity of heaven without distraction. God needed you to detox from noise so you could hear divine instruction. There is something different about you, and you've always felt it. Since childhood, you've known you didn't quite fit in. You weren't meant to. You were crafted with an uncommon light, one that disrupts darkness just by existing. And because of that, you've been misunderstood, attacked, and overlooked. But here's what God needs you to remember now. Those were all signs that you're carrying something this world isn't ready to understand, but it will soon respect. You have been going through a divine refinement. Every closed door, every unanswered call, every failed plan wasn't a sign of your inadequacy. It was a signature of your anointing. God explained that when He's preparing a chosen one, He allows what feels like failure to fuel future fire. He lets the crowd walk away so you'll learn to stand alone. He lets the familiar collapse so you'll stretch your faith. He allows the wilderness to teach you the sound of His voice without the echo of others. This is what you need to hear now. You are not late. You are not lost. You are right on time. The divine clock is ticking in your favor. What you thought was delay was actually divine pacing. Heaven hasn't been holding you back. It's been holding you in place until your name is called. And guess what? Your name is being called now. The shift has begun. The doors are opening. The answers are arriving. The weight is lifting. Everything you thought you missed is still yours, but upgraded. God never subtracts without multiplying later. The people who walked away made room for those who will walk with you. The job you didn't get cleared space for the work you were born to do. The heartbreak that nearly destroyed you activated the healing that will now inspire nations. Nothing was wasted. It was all working. It was all necessary. You've been going through a spiritual alignment. What felt like destruction was actually design. God has been moving puzzle pieces you can't even see. Conversations about your next elevation have already happened in rooms your feet haven't entered yet. People are already preparing to favor you. Systems are already shifting to support you. The spotlight you've been praying for is about to turn on, and when it does, it won't just be your moment. It will be your mantle. This is what God explained. You needed to hear it now, not before, because now your ears are open. Now your heart is ready. Now your soil is fertile for what heaven is about to plant. A new version of you has emerged, one that can carry the dream without compromising it, one that can rise without losing balance, one that can lead without losing yourself. That's who you are now. You are about to walk into a season of revealed truth. Things that were hidden are about to be made plain. People who pretended to support you will be exposed. Hidden opportunities will be uncovered. Financial resources will come from unexpected directions. Your path will be lit with divine favor. No more confusion, no more fog, no more waiting for someone to validate your vision. God has already validated it. Heaven has already approved it. The instructions you were seeking are embedded in your spirit. You just needed the silence to hear them. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle waiting to activate. You are not hoping for a breakthrough. You are the breakthrough someone else is about to experience because of your obedience. This is not about one moment. This is about the lifetime of impact your alignment is about to unlock. Chosen one, don't let your mind talk you out of what your spirit already knows. The shift isn't coming, it has come. The explanation has been given. And your role now is simple. Walk in it. Trust the knowing. Obey the nudge. Honor the inner voice. Don't dismiss what seems small. It's the beginning of something massive. Don't wait for the crowd. Your calling is personal. Don't fear the unknown. Your future is already familiar to God. Keep going, chosen one. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not buried. You're being built, elevated, and divinely equipped. The weight you've carried is about to turn into wings. The pain you've endured is about to fund your power. This season is not your breaking, it's your birth. Chosen one, now that you've heard what was hidden, you're being summoned into action. Not forced, not pushed, but drawn by divine force, by heavenly pull. Because explanation without activation is just noise. But you, chosen one, you were never meant to hear and stay still. You were meant to hear and move. Move boldly. Move with grace. Move like someone who has been given clearance from heaven itself. God's explanation wasn't to soothe you. It was to stir you. Stir your power. Stir your remembrance. Stir the part of you that forgot you were never ordinary to begin with. You didn't survive what others collapsed under just to go back to being average. You didn't carry the weight of unanswered prayers, silent seasons, and private battles just to stay in the background. No, you were called to lead with light, to rise with reason, and to walk with revelation that can no longer be denied. This is the part where you stop second-guessing your worth. You are no longer in a place where shrinking serves your purpose. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your glow-up. You don't need permission to evolve. You have divine license to occupy every space your heart has been called to. You are not a burden. You are a bridge. A bridge between the seen and unseen. A living portal for the supernatural to touch the natural. Chosen one, don't underestimate the timing of this moment. By the time you finish this message, something inside you will have shifted. That's not coincidence. That's calibration. Heaven is aligning you to the vibration of your divine blueprint. You're being restored to the frequency of faith, and it's tuning out every voice that told you to be quiet, to wait, to stay in the shadows. That time is over. The world doesn't need a lesser version of you. It needs your full light. The version that knows its power. The version that trusts its intuition. The version that listens when God whispers and moves when Spirit confirms. The explanation came now because now you're ready to stop surviving and start soaring. You've spent enough time questioning your intuition, apologizing for your insight, and downplaying your discernment. This is the season where clarity becomes your default. You will no longer mistake delay for denial. You will no longer call divine redirection a rejection. You will stop seeing endings as losses. They were really divine exits from cycles that couldn't carry your next level. What felt like being torn down was actually heaven clearing out your inner architecture to build something eternal inside you. Chosen one, this message is unlocking something ancient in you, a remembering, a soul-deep recognition of who you are and why you're here. Your power is not new. It's just been hidden beneath layers of fear, shame, trauma, and silence. But now, with every word you absorb, the layers are falling off. You are being revealed, not just to the world, but to yourself. You're about to realize why you had to walk through everything you did, why you couldn't take shortcuts, why you couldn't skip steps. The kind of wealth you're about to steward, emotional, spiritual, financial, requires integrity, vision, and patience. You couldn't be rushed. And now that you've arrived at this threshold, the gates are opening. But listen, these gates don't open for crowds. They open for the called. That's you. God has explained what others tried to confuse. He's brought peace to the places that once held pressure. He's spoken life into the areas where you only saw lack. Now the next level begins with a decision. Will you believe what heaven just revealed? Will you act as if the promise is already fulfilled? Will you walk like someone who has already received divine explanation and now carries divine instruction? You will know this shift is real because your spirit has already started to shed what doesn't belong. You'll look around and realize certain environments no longer feed you. Certain conversations feel hollow. Certain people start falling away, not out of malice, but because they were never meant to follow you into this next room. Don't panic. Don't cling. This is a shedding, not a loss. Chosen one, this revelation is not only for your mind, it's for your movement. You're going to notice your confidence rising. You'll wake up with clearer thoughts. You'll walk into places and feel like the atmosphere responds to you. You're not imagining it. The spiritual world knows who you are before the natural world catches up. That's why favor is about to follow you like a shadow. It's your season of divine ease, not because life gets perfect, but because you get positioned. This is also the time where your voice returns, louder, truer, more refined. What once made you feel like hiding will now become your story of victory. Shame loses its grip when truth rises. You'll share parts of your journey you never thought you'd reveal, and those parts will set others free. You'll realize your past wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It gave you the language of liberation. And those things you thought you lost forever? God has a way of restoring what was stolen. But when He gives it back refined, enhanced, matured, and multiplied. Relationships, resources, and recognition are being recalibrated to find you in your healed state. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to strive. You'll just align. Here's the part many forget. When divine explanation is given, it comes with responsibility. You can no longer pretend you don't know who you are. You can't act like you don't hear the call. You've been called higher, deeper, and wider. Your dreams aren't just fantasies. They are divine forecasts of where you're headed. You're not delusional. You're prophetic. Your life is unfolding in real time what God already confirmed in eternity. Let every word you've received today be fuel. Let it ignite the boldness you buried. Let it awaken the prayers you stopped praying. Let it remind you, you are not behind. You are not cursed, and you are not forgotten. You are being revealed. You are being remembered. You are being rerouted directly into destiny. This is the part of your story that turns. The explanation is now embedded in your soul. From here on, you don't beg for confirmation. You move with conviction. You don't ask for signs. You follow alignment. You don't chase anything. Because what's yours, now that you understand the fullness of your assignment, is already chasing you. Chosen one, something monumental is happening within you, even if you can't yet put words to it. This isn't a temporary spark. This is a full-blown awakening, a total inner resurrection. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you've always been before life tried to make you forget. God didn't explain these things just to inspire you. He explained them to ignite you. This is the hour of inner ignition. Your soul has been relit. You're beginning to feel it, aren't you? That surge, that soft but undeniable knowing, that sacred whisper that says, I'm ready. Not because everything around you looks perfect, but because everything within you has aligned with truth. You are not waiting to become. You are. You've already been approved, already been chosen, already been spoken over in realms most people can't see. There's something extraordinary about someone who knows. When a chosen one truly knows what heaven has said, they carry themselves differently. They move with a divine rhythm that doesn't make sense to the world. They walk away from places that once fed their insecurities and walk boldly into places that require their authority. That's you now. You're stepping into your knowing. And once you know, you can't unknow. That's the beautiful responsibility of divine explanation. You'll notice your boundaries becoming clearer, not out of bitterness, but out of self-honor. You're not available for anything that dishonors your destiny anymore. You won't explain your calling to those committed to misunderstanding it. You won't try to fit into spaces where your power intimidates small minds. You were explained to by God Himself. That kind of revelation requires you to protect your energy like the sacred flame it is. This is your divine return. Not to a place, but to you. The real you. The royal you. The bold, radiant, purpose-filled you that God designed with precision. You're returning to the energy of your divine assignment. And everything that no longer matches that frequency is being stripped away. Sometimes painfully, sometimes suddenly, but always perfectly. Because nothing is being removed from your life that isn't beneath where you're going next. And let's talk about next, chosen one. Because your next is massive. Your next is the moment where explanation turns into elevation. You don't need to climb ladders anymore. Heaven is escorting you to the platform. You don't need to chase opportunities. They will knock on your door. People will wonder, how did this happen so fast? But you'll know the truth. It wasn't fast. It was faith. You went through the long nights, the private tears, the isolation that almost broke you, the healing that felt like punishment. You sat through the silence and still didn't abandon the call. You showed up even when no one clapped. You held on even when you didn't understand why. And now, understanding has arrived. And with understanding comes speed, not rushed, not forced, divine acceleration. Your energy will speak for you now. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere just by your presence. You'll speak and people will pause, not because of the volume of your voice, but the vibration behind it. There is weight on your words now. There is truth in your tone. There is evidence in your essence. You are no longer just speaking about purpose. You are embodying it. And here's the secret. Heaven is revealing to you. The explanation you received wasn't only for you. It was for those who are silently watching you, the ones whose eyes are on you right now. They're wondering how you survived, how you still shine, how you still love despite the betrayal, how you still hope after all the heartbreak. They don't know yet, but your life is becoming their proof that God still speaks. That destiny is still real. That favor is still flowing. Don't be surprised when your story becomes someone else's deliverance. Don't be shocked when your pain becomes someone's pattern of escape. This is what being chosen means. You don't just carry purpose, you live it out loud. And your transparency becomes someone else's healing. Your clarity becomes someone else's compass. You become the living explanation of how God rescues, rebuilds, and reassigns. Chosen one, keep listening, not just to words, but to your inner witness. The divine explanation didn't just come to inform you, it came to transform you. Your heart is different now. Your discernment is sharper. You don't question every detour anymore. You understand that some detours are destiny in disguise. You've learned to flow with the divine rather than fight the unfamiliar. And speaking of unfamiliar, get comfortable with it. Your future won't look like your past. What's coming is not a remix of what you've known. It's an entirely new dimension, one that requires new habits, new standards, new ways of thinking. Don't reach back for old patterns. Don't shrink into old versions of yourself just because this new you intimidates others. You've been explained to. That means you're expected to rise. Expect acceleration. Expect restoration. Expect recognition. And not the kind of recognition that feeds ego, but the kind that confirms calling. You are stepping into a realm where people don't just see you, they sense you. They sense the depth you carry, the wisdom you've earned, the weight of your walk, and the beauty of it all is, you're not performing. You're just being who you really are. Heaven never needed you to be perfect, just positioned, just present, just obedient. That's what unlocked the explanation. And now that you've received it, it's time to embody it. You don't have to wait another moment. You don't have to seek another sign. You are the confirmation. You are the signal. You are the one the shift has been waiting on. Don't doubt your readiness. Don't question your authority. Don't let the old fear whisper its lies. You have been confirmed. You have been equipped. And everything that tried to break you has now bowed to the power of your becoming. What was once a breakdown has been rewritten as breakthrough. What once felt like ending is now the very fuel of your evolution. So step forward, chosen one. Speak clearly. Walk boldly. Shine unapologetically. You've heard what you needed to hear. Now it's time to become what you were created to be. Chosen one. Now that the revelation is yours, the resistance has no more power. You've crossed a threshold that many only dream about, where confusion fades and confidence takes the lead. You are no longer the version of yourself that tolerated what hurt you. You are no longer the soul who begged for scraps of clarity. You have become the one who stands with certainty, and from this point forward, your life will mirror that certainty. You don't need anyone to approve of what God has already explained. This next chapter is not about pleasing people. It's about obeying purpose. This is about honoring the voice inside you that refuses to stay silent any longer. That voice isn't your ego. It's your calling. It's the echo of heaven reminding you, you were built for this. The explanation from God was more than information. It was a reset, a soul reset, a spirit shift, a divine upgrade that can't be reversed. You may still feel moments of fear or uncertainty, but hear this. Clarity isn't the absence of fear. It's the strength to move despite it. And you, chosen one, are now moving with purpose that overrides panic. You've walked through storms without losing your song. You've sat in silence and still believed. You've carried weight and still worshipped. Now the energy around you will respond differently. What once resisted you will start to receive you. What once felt like warfare will become favor. And it's not because the world has changed. It's because you have. When you know who you are, everything that's not aligned has to either adjust or exit. Your vibration is higher now, and your destiny will no longer let you entertain things that contradict your calling. You'll find yourself disconnecting from things you once prayed to be a part of. Not because you're bitter, but because you're better. Your standards are no longer rooted in desperation. They're grounded in divine explanation. You now understand that rejection was protection, that delay was redirection, and that silence was sacred preparation. This kind of understanding brings a holy stillness to your soul. You no longer rush decisions. You don't chase outcomes. You understand that everything assigned to you must arrive when and how heaven decides. You no longer pray with worry. You pray with knowing. You don't wish, you expect. And that expectation is magnetic. It pulls in what was once stuck. It unlocks doors that once refused to open. You are in your divine becoming. The realignment has already begun, and now divine relationships are coming to meet you where you've risen. You'll recognize them instantly, not by how loud they are, but by how safe they feel. You'll feel seen, not because you were introduced, but because they already knew. Their spirit will recognize yours. You won't have to explain your vision. They'll already be aligned with it. This is the beauty of spiritual explanation. It not only helps you see, it helps others see you. You're not here to convince anyone of your worth. You're not here to beg for access. You are here to be, to exist at your full, divine frequency, to operate in purpose without apology, and to live a life so aligned that your presence alone activates transformation in others. Chosen one, understand this. When God explained what you needed to hear, He also initiated what you were destined to do. The next level is about movement, action, execution. Don't worry about perfection. Just stay in alignment. Take the steps you're guided to take, even if they don't make sense to your logical mind. Divine instruction doesn't always look rational. It looks right in spirit. You'll be prompted to start things you feel unqualified for. Start anyway. You'll be guided to speak things that feel too bold. Speak anyway. You'll be nudged to leave environments you once depended on. Walk away anyway. Your destiny will never ask you to stay small. Every divine explanation comes with a divine elevation, and elevation always requires separation. There's a version of you that's already living the life you dream of. That version exists. That version is you without doubt, you without fear, you fully aware and unapologetically aligned. And with every step you take in faith, you collapse the distance between where you are and who you were born to be. You are walking into overflow, not just in money, but in meaning, in purpose, in peace. You're entering a space where doors don't just open, they invite you in. Where favor doesn't just find you, it chases you. Where clarity doesn't visit occasionally, it dwells in you. You've become the space where heaven and earth agree. And don't be surprised when the very people who once dismissed you begin watching from a distance, wondering what changed. You changed. Your posture shifted. Your energy matured. You stopped begging and started believing. You stopped asking for access and started building the room. You stopped doubting and started declaring. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are walking as the chosen. With that identity comes a supernatural ease. It doesn't mean life won't challenge you. It means challenges won't shake you. You've heard what you needed to hear. You've received what your soul was missing. Now your only task is to move in agreement. Don't look back. Don't try to drag old habits into a new dimension. Don't water down your vision so others feel comfortable. This is your season of unapologetic obedience. The kind of obedience that activates miracles. The kind of clarity that multiplies quickly. The kind of alignment that opens portals no one can close. God explained what you needed to hear because you are now mature enough to carry it. You're spiritually fit to steward the assignment. You're emotionally healed enough to walk in your name without shrinking. You're mentally strong enough to release control and trust divine flow. This is your moment of full surrender and full manifestation. Let everything that doesn't match your divine explanation dissolve without resistance. Let peace guide your pace. Let discernment choose your circle. Let alignment be your only ambition. What's coming next won't require you to strive. It will ask you to stand. Stand in truth. Stand in power. Stand in divine identity. Stand in the knowing that God doesn't explain things without purpose. You were meant to hear this now because your now is about to change everything. Chosen one. By now you felt it. This isn't just a message. It's a divine turning point. The old mindset can no longer survive in your atmosphere. You've heard heaven's explanation, and something irreversible has been activated. You're not going back to uncertainty. You're not going back to who you used to be. The light has come on, and now you walk in it. There's no room for delay when revelation has landed. You've graduated from spiritual survival to supernatural stability. You're no longer searching for validation in external things. The confirmation you were waiting for has arrived. You are it. You're the walking answer to the prayers of past generations. You're the fulfillment of promises made in secret. And now you're being asked to walk like it. You'll notice something beautiful happening. Peace will become your new standard, not because chaos has disappeared, but because it can no longer shake you. You'll have the kind of calm that comes from clarity, the kind of inner stillness that doesn't need circumstances to behave to feel centered. That's what happens when God explains things. You no longer need constant signs to feel secure, and you won't need loud announcements to prove you've elevated. You'll quietly embody your shift, and the world will feel it. Energy speaks louder than any introduction. Your peace will preach. Your boundaries will speak. Your eyes will carry wisdom. Your aura will carry fire. People will sense they're in the presence of someone chosen, not because you say it, but because your alignment proves it. Don't be surprised if you start losing interest in things that used to entertain you. That's not boredom, it's spiritual refinement. Your soul is no longer fed by distractions. You're being repositioned for depth, for legacy, for real kingdom movement. What used to excite you may now feel too small, too shallow. That's because you've outgrown it. And that's okay. Evolution always requires release. You're now in the season of supernatural connections. Destiny alliances are being orchestrated. People who carry keys to your future are on their way. But they won't show up in disguise. They'll show up in confirmation. You won't have to force the bond. It will flow. You won't need to question the connection. You'll just know. Because alignment recognizes alignment. This next dimension of your life will require less effort and more trust. Less striving, more surrender. Less control, more flow. You are learning to live as someone who knows their steps are guided. Your decisions are now made from discernment, not desperation. You're not proving anything, you're just walking in it.